WhenToWork is a website that acts as a central hub for communication for several departments in the Student Center. If you work on either the E-Zone, Infodesk, or Setup crew, this is where you'll go to see the schedule for you and your coworkers, receive announcements from your managers, and trade shifts with other employees. If you are new to WhenToWork, you'll need to first see your manager to get an invite and temporary password. The first time you log in, it'll prompt you to create a username and personal password. Once you've done all that, go to www.whentowork.com. When you get there, you'll see a sign-in button in the upper left-hand corner. Click on that, and you'll come to your login screen, where you'll enter your username and then your password. This is the main screen. In the right and left columns, you'll find news, announcements, and messages from your manager and other coworkers. In the center column, there are links to every part of the WhenToWork interface. Let's start with everyone's weekly schedule. You'll find a printout of this screen posted in 3.11 after it's released. To get there, click Show Everyone's Schedule. It's divided by category of employee. For example, building managers, AV techs, or Infodesk attendants. Under each day, the employees scheduled are listed with a name, the hours they're scheduled to work, and, if applicable, the special event or project for which they're scheduled. For example, preset ballroom AV. If you want a more narrow view, you can view just the shifts you're scheduled to work by clicking one of the links under My Schedule. If you need to switch shifts, you can begin by clicking on the shift that you want to trade and selecting Availability of Other Employees for My Shift. Any employees that have green or white filling up the space next to their name might be able to take the shift, but we'll discuss that process later. When going to any part of the schedule interface, you will first be taken to the current week. To view any other time periods, simply click the arrows at the top of the screen. When you first log into WhenToWork, make sure you go to the Info tab at the top. Here, you'll fill in your phone number, your cell phone number if you have one, and you'll also select your privacy settings. Now, in almost all cases, you should make sure and select All Employees Can See My Phone Number and All Employees Can See My Email Addresses. If you have any questions, ask your supervisor. On the right, click on Edit My Email/Text Addresses and Notifications. In this screen, you can select which messages will be forwarded to your email address or cell phone. To start, click on Select/Add Notifications. After making sure your email is right, click the check boxes next to all of the messages that you would like forwarded to your email address. Remember, if you leave any of these unchecked, the only way you'll know about them is if you actually log in to WhenToWork. When you're done, click Save. Under the Preferences tab, you will set what times you are able or not able to work. To start, click Set Repeating Weekly Preferences. In this screen, you'll set your general availability. Now remember, this will continue week to week, so make sure you update it if your schedule ever changes. When setting your availability, make sure you have any classes, extracurriculars, or other obligations blocked off. To do all of this, you're going to use the paintbrushes at the top. Now, as you can probably tell from the buttons, the red paintbrush means you cannot work no matter what. The pink paintbrush is for times that you don't really want to work, but can if they really need you to. Green is the times that you prefer to work, and white means you really don't care at all. To start, click on a paintbrush, and then click and hold, and move your cursor over an area that you want to paint. Make sure you don't leave any boxes left behind in areas that you can't work. Now what I've just done is indicated that I'm now available on Monday from noon until 4 p.m. One important thing to note is this is not the interface you use to request time off. That is done under the Time Off tab located at the top of the screen. Once here, click the date that you want off. For example, August 29th. Now, if that is the only day you want off, then leave the number to the left under Full Days Off at 1. However, if you need more than that, adjust the number accordingly. When you're done, add a comment in the comment box, such as wedding, giving the reason why you need the time off. Then click Request Time Off. Once you do that, your manager will be able to view the request, and whether they approve or deny it, you'll get a message about the status delivered to you on WhenToWork. Sometime, you might find that you need a day off but are already scheduled for it. Try to avoid this as much as possible by requesting dates off as soon as you find out about them. But when you do run into the problem, you'll need to go to the Trades tab on WhenToWork. Next, click on Trade My Shifts. Here you'll find all of the shifts you're currently scheduled for. Click one of the buttons to the right of the ones that you need off. Either trade, drop, or both. Then click Post. Once you've done that, it'll show up on the Trade Board tab, which you can access through the tab above that. On this screen, you can pick up other people's shifts by clicking on them. Also, remember that placing a trade on the trade board doesn't mean that you automatically don't need to come in. Someone still has to pick it up. Once two people agree on a switch, it is sent to their manager for approval. If it is approved, both employees will be sent a message on WhenToWork. In the Staff tab, you will find a list of all employees that work in your department, as well as their phone number and email addresses, so long as they've chosen to display them. If they don't allow others to view their contact info, you can still message them through WhenToWork by clicking on their name, filling out a message, and then clicking Send. In the Bulletins tab, you or your coworkers can send out messages for everyone in your department to see. Now, since this is a very public setting, make sure that all of your messages are kept brief and professional. WhenToWork may sometimes seem complicated or confusing, but if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask your manager or one of your other employees. Remember, as always, we're here to help you.